Hello, friends. I am just hopping on a quick live because there's been a whole lot of hubbub about the New York Times articles because there's been not one, but two. So if you haven't seen both articles, you're missing out because there's a whole nother opportunity for you to criticize the journalism or lack thereof, wherever your spectrum may be, of the New York Times and their writers. However, see this article as an absolute win. How you could see it as anything other than a win constitutes a little bit of lack of objective view of what it is that we do in airway. What we do is, by its nature, very controversial, number one. Number two, it's all based on functional outcomes. That's what we want at the inherent end of all that we do. So whether you're expanding and you're an appliance provider, whether you are trying to facilitate airway space or help people with sleep, or tongue ties so that you're helping them gain functional goals so that you can facilitate progress with speech or occupational therapy goals or sensory issues. You're working on a function. That whole article was about function. Every case that they presented was a case that lacked remediation in function. What happened? What went wrong? It's a wonderful time for us to re examine the fact that, one, there's no standardization. There's no one standard way that tongue ties are performed, and people don't agree on what's a tie and not a tie and all of this nonsense. But it's a great way for us to take a look and step back and say, hey, we need more functional providers commenting on this. We need those people who are doing the lactation work, who are saying to the patients and to the dyads, look, we need to make sure that we've maxed out our functional capabilities prior to sending you to that dental office so that you can get a release. And honestly, any dentist worth his weight in gold, and many of them I've worked with and collaborated with. I love Scott Siegel. He's one of my favorites. Any of them, and even Scott, he does not just take people in without knowing that they've worked with somebody as a functional provider first. If they're not putting in the work for the function beforehand, they're not going to put in the work for the function afterwards. You know that's the case. So essentially, what we're really looking at here is a wonderful opportunity for us to highlight the importance of function, for us to work together and collaborate and to extend better outcomes to the patient base. It's otherwise you just gambling, and let's liken it to the lottery. Okay. So if I look at the internet, everybody wins the lottery. There's a grandma who did a scratch off for $2 million at the gas station down the street or a town over, and I should just play the lottery every day because I'm guaranteed to win, right? That's kind of like what's highlighted as wonderful marketing and talking points every time you look on YouTube and you see those beautiful videos of people who are just so grateful because instantly, once their tongue tie was released, they had this magical and miraculous experience, and it's been amazing for their function, and they had to do zero work afterwards in order to facilitate any of their gains. That's not real, y'all. That's not real. To consider the tongue tie release procedure anything other than cosmetic is a disservice. It's a cosmetic revision of structure. Everything else is something that's achieved by function. So I highly recommend that you read with a critical eye and an objective view, because otherwise we're just echo chambering the same things back to each other. But with a critical eye and an objective view to find the highlights and the values of that article, there was so much to gain in there of the importance of function. And if you saw anything other, I don't know what to tell you, but it's not setting a good standard for our high values in this field. I would love to extend this as an invitation for opinions. Please comment. Please let me know how you feel about the articles. If you have not read them, there are links to the articles in the description of this video or in the post of this video because I'm streaming a lot of different places. But it's a wonderful open discussion that we should all have, and we should really take a look and be willing to increase the standards and to say, you know what, we're getting a little pushback and we're going to take from that, and we're going to learn from that, and we're going to grow from that, and we're going to do better with interviews, and we're going to consult PR and have media training before we ever do any more interviews. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for taking 5 minutes out of your day to listen. Looking forward to your thoughts. Hit me up in the comments. Bye.